All right, listen up. I'm Dr. Wolf. Your clearance got you in the door, but it's not going to save your life if you don't pay attention to what I'm about to say.
I've spent the last 10 years dealing with Keter-class headaches, but the two we're talking about today, SCP-073 and SCP-076, there's something else entirely. They're not just things, they're an ancient, destructive relationship, a conflict that's been raging since before humans were writing things down.
Let's be crystal clear. Your job here is to manage risk. But these two, well, their failure state isn't just some messy containment breach. It's an apocalypse. So yeah, pay attention. We're talking about two primordial forces locked in a battle that's older than history itself. Our one job, make sure they never meet. Because if we fail, that's it. Game over.
Okay, so let's start with what seems like the easy one, SCP-073. He calls himself Cain, and if you just met him, you'd think he's the perfect anomaly. He's helpful, he's smart, he's the kind of thing that makes you drop your guard. And that's exactly why he's so dangerous.
And that's the paradox, isn't it? On one hand, you've got this polite, helpful guy. He literally enjoys helping the staff. On the other hand, just by being near him, every plant grown in soil dies. It's a localized extinction event, and it's not like he's trying to do it. It's just part of him.
His brain? It's like a perfect hard drive. Photographic memory means he's basically a walking, talking backup of the entire Foundation database. His body is made of this weird beryllium bronze, stuff we've only seen in ancient Sumerian artifacts. And here's the kicker. Try to hurt him, and that damage gets reflected right back at you, instantly, perfectly, every single time.
The official term we use for this is inimical presence. It's a fancy way of saying he doesn't even have to think about it. Anything grown in dirt just dies, rots away within a 20-meter radius. The ground becomes totally barren. He touches wood, it turns to dust. This isn't an ability he uses, it's just what he is.
Right, now for the other half of this nightmare, his counterpart. The reason our containment cells have titanium walls and the instruction manuals are basically written in blood. Meet SCP-076. We call him Abel.
See, most of the time, Abel is, for all intents and purposes, dead. He's just dormant inside this big stone box. But when he wakes up, he has one single thought in his head. Find the closest person and kill them. You can't talk to him, you can't reason with him, it's just the hunt.
And his abilities, honestly, they're just off the charts. We're talking about a guy who can tear through reinforced titanium like it's paper. He can clear over 60 meters in under 3 seconds. Bullets? He just swats them out of the air. You can hit him with a howitzer round and he'll get back up. And the weapons? He just pulls these blades out of thin air, from some kind of pocket dimension.
You want to understand just how tough he is? 13.6 metric tons. That's the weight of an elevator system he once dropped on himself. Crushed him flat. A few hours later, he was back up, good as new. The point is, killing him is just a temporary solution. You can't stop him, you can only contain him.
And this is where it all comes together. We showed Cain the file on Abel, just to see what would happen. He didn't even need to read it. He knew everything already. And he gave us one simple, terrifying piece of advice. Think about that. He knows what happens when they get together, and it scares him.
So you put them side by side, and the picture becomes terrifyingly clear. They are perfect cosmic opposites. Cain passively kills the earth beneath his feet. Abel actively hunts and kills mankind. Cain reflects all violence. Abel is violence. They're two sides of the exact same apocalyptic coin.
And yet, despite knowing all this, someone in high command had a brilliant idea. They looked at Abel and didn't see a Keter-class monster. They saw a weapon. And that thinking led to one of the biggest disasters in the Foundation's entire history, Project Omega-7. This is the part of the briefing you need to burn into your memory.
The logic, if you can call it that, was simple and incredibly stupid. Why contain an unstoppable killing machine when you can point it at your enemies, right? So they spun up Mobile Task Force Omega-7, nicknamed Pandora's Box, with Abel as their star player.
And you know what the crazy part is? When they pitched it to him, the report came back with 2 words. He said yes. We gave him exactly what he wanted, a real challenge, a good fight. And for a little while, it actually seemed to be working.
But here's the thing about trying to control a force of nature. You can't. Control was always an illusion. His mind just
It doesn't work like ours. Between missions, he got bored, and when Abel gets bored, people get hurt. His training sessions with his own team got more and more brutal. We had created the perfect weapon, and we forgot it didn't have an off switch.
So, the researchers on the ground, the ones seeing this firsthand, they begged to pull the plug. But the military brass, General Bo, said no. Unacceptable, he called it. An unacceptable delay. He was so convinced he could control it, so blinded by the potential. His plan? Just keep Abel busy. That one single arrogant decision, it signed the death warrant for an entire site.
And this is what happened. Abel eventually broke free, tore off his failsafe collar, and went on a rampage that was so unstoppable we had only one option left. We engaged the final option. We detonated the on-site nuke at Containment Area 25. Let me repeat that. We nuked our own facility, on our own soil, just to stop him.
So, what did we learn from this cluster? Well, you know what? The failure of Omega-7 taught us a lesson. A very, very expensive lesson about the kind of things we're dealing with here.
We learned that Abel's mind is truly alien. You can't bribe him, you can't threaten him, you can't reason with him. Concepts we take for granted, empathy, mercy, love, they just don't exist for him. He loves to kill, but he gets no special joy from causing pain. He's a perfect sociopath, a warrior from an age with different rules.
And the price for that lesson? It was staggering. We lost hundreds of good people. We lost an entire state-of-the-art facility. And we shattered our own ethical codes. We treated a sentient being like a disposable tool, and it blew up in our faces, costing us almost everything. That is a mistake we are never going to make again.
So, I want this to be absolutely clear. These protocols are not suggestions. 1. SCP-073 and SCP-076 are to be kept on opposite sides of the planet, always. 2. We do not weaponize sentient anomalies, ever. And 3. Keter-class objects are to be contained, not controlled. These things aren't our tools, they're forces of nature. They're living myths we barely understand. Our only job is to make sure they never, ever meet. Because where they meet, that's where the world ends.
So, I'll leave you with this question. When you're dealing with forces that literally wrote our first myths, where is the line between containment and arrogance, between security and hubris? You better figure out the answer to that, and fast. Your career, hell, your life, is going to depend on it. That's all. Dismissed.